The following broadcast and hockey season is dedicated to the memory of Mike Miller.
Live from Langenburg Arena, it's Saturday night. The Cobras take on the Warriors. You're watching Good On Industries Game Time on TL Media. Here's your host, Travis Longman.
Hello, Canada and hockey fans in the United States and Newfoundland or wherever you are tuning in. It is fantastic to be back at the rink for the first time this season. Tonight, we got a marquee matchup in the Saskies Hockey League between the Canora Cobras and the Langenburg Warriors. We're going to take some time to introduce the rosters as there was a little bit of an arena delay. I appear to have that cleared up, and we should begin the game momentarily. For the Langenburg Warriors, number 1, Brendan Birch, 31, Theo Toma, 35, Carter Olson, 2, Ryder Hildebrand, 4, Corey Hodgson, 6, Parker Carlson, 7, Taylor Thompson, 8, Regan Olson, 9, Noah Kaminsky, 10, Jake Huska, 11, Mason Drieger, 12, Jacob Brook, 13, Mike Rokoszewski, 14, James Nee. You might recognize that name. He's had some time in the Manitoba Junior Hockey League. 15, Eddie Mitchke, 16, John McDonald, 17, Nick Carlson, 18, Jake McDonald, 19, Max Strainen, 20, Josh Pepler, 22, Aidan Brook, 23, Brendan Carlson, 24, Riley Zimmer, and number 25, Evan Worrell. As the fans trickle into the Langenburg Remax Arena, we're hoping for a full barn here tonight to watch their Warriors take on the visiting and reigning defending Sask East Hockey League champion Canora Cobras. Number 1, Rylan Palkowick. 28, Spencer Pythian. 30, Cole Deniselic. 35, Ross Hallowick. 2, Carter Lake. 4, Carson Dennis. 6, Carson Jaranowiski. 8, Tanner Deniselic. 9, Jason Cochin. 10, Casey Mydonic. 11, William Hauber. 15, Damian Bentz. 16, Tyler Stevenson. 17, Brielle Beblow. 19, Nicholas Gordon. 20, Skylar Wallen. 21, Cody Dubas. 22, Austin Severson. 24, Cody Rock. 27, Carson Sass. 29, Logan Foster. 42, Tanner Mack. 44, Scott Mikowski. 65, Carter Durham. 77, 91, Vaughn Rogoff, and 93, Derek Short. Who's hearing the horns a honking? That means we're almost time for a hockey a playing. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll be right back for Good On Industries Game Time on TL Media.
Good On Industries. Prairie Dog Trailer Sales. OK Tire, Mooseman. Tantalize Tanning Studio.
We want to thank everyone for tuning in on this Saturday night. It's our first hockey broadcast of the season, and we might have a little bit of cobwebs to get out of here as we're trying to get into hockey mode after football mode, but we'll be right back after our national anthem. I didn't say government in all of the world. Oh, Canada. It's so good the Simpsons have even sang it on an episode of there. The teams are ready. The refs are ready. The fans are trickling in. Viewers at home, are you ready? I said, are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble. Zimmer's out there. He's taking the face off against Foster. Foster in white, Zimmer in black. The two are having words right off the face off. Let's see if everything happens. Zimmer loses a draw. Foster gets it back. Dubas. Dubas has it for Canora. He sends it across ice. Carlson over at the far wing. And that's off the board. Foster comes in. Foster over the blue line. Lets a shot go. And that quickly goes high and out of play. Just 15 seconds into the opening contest of the season for TL Media. And we have a whistle. It's great to be back at the rink. We have at least 10 games scheduled so far. And I'm sure if it's at like any of the Last few seasons, it will be a lot more. Bumped into the board for the Cobras. Spinning around. Sent down. Good collision there. Rogachevsky. And we have our first penalty coming up. It could be a physical game between these two teams. Two of the top teams in the entire league. Potential league championship. A lot has to happen. Heading to the penalty box, if you can hear over the horns, is number 15, Bentz. Damian Bentz. See, there was a little Bentz out of shape heading to the box there. Zimmer's out there taking the draw, wins it back. Thompson and Zimmer. You have to love that if you're a Langenburg fan, as the puck just comes out over the blue line. James Nee, the former Dauphin King. Zimmer. Canora sends it down the ice. Hayden out to play. Burke Hayden. Those full flashes on his face. Zimmer has it up ahead. James Nee. Thompson passes it over. Too far. Zimmer. Whirl has it at the point. He lets a shot go. Knocked away, sir. By Rogachevsky. Correction. Number 35 for the Canora Cobras. It is Ross Howard getting started. And he made a quick save there. 18:43 remaining in the first period. It remains scoreless. Thompson is out there to take the draw against number 65 for the Canora Cobras. Carter Garnowski. And it's the Warriors coming away with it. The shot, it's still loose. Big rebound. And the Langenburg faithful had to watch that one. Minute 9 seconds left on the bench penalty. Haven't heard an announcement for what it was. Thompson has to face off against a new guy. And coming away with it, Garnowski. Whirl stands him up at the red line, and Zimmer goes back to retrieve it. Zimmer behind his own net. Circling over the blue line. Zimmer off a leg, off a ankle. Whirl passes it over down into the enemy territory. Down along the far boards. Spinning over. And down the ice. A good penalty kill for the Cobras. Has 30 seconds left in the man disadvantage. Thompson with speed. The skillster loses it. And they send it down the ice. 20 seconds left. Much to the delight of Bentz, who's standing up, ready to come in. Passes it over. Nee drawn to the outside. Banks it off the board. Thrennen back it over. Thompson over Thrennen with a shot kicked aside there by Howland. Another big save, and he holds on for a whistle. 17:26 left in the first period. Still no score between the Canora Cobras and the Langenburg Warriors. Langenburg had a few opportunities on that man advantage, but Howard was more than equal to the shots. Chipped up ahead. Banked off the board. 27 for Canora. Carson Sass. Off ahead, off the boards, and number 65, Darren Lewinsky, puts it on net. First Hayden had to be careful there. Spinning around, that goes wide. Tipped it over. Yeah, what's a shot? He scores! What a nothing for the Warriors. The horns are honking here in Langenburg. By the like number 11, Mason will score. Langenburg has a lot of weapons this year, and I expect team, but I see a lot of parity here. On the scoreboard, we're coming looking for more. Zimmer falls down, no call. Okay. To confirm, it was number 11 with the goal. That was Mason Drager. Drager, a popular last name around Langenburg. Probably related. I can't say knee. Back. Across knee. Change knee. Change knee across there shoots. Big save there by Harlock. Puck's loose. Well, wide open. Yep, he scores! Thompson! Mr. Thompson from Canora makes it 2-0. Not actually from Canora Lake. That was just a Simpson method for producing. How are we doing tonight, producer Mitch?
Oh, doing all right, bud. How's Langenburg?
Langenburg is great. I love coming here. Right now, Mr. Thompson. Do you think they had to stop on his foot twice, Mitch? Whirls in all again. He shoots and Harlock makes the save with 15:42 left. 2-0 for Langenburg on the defending SEHL champion, Canora Cobras. Logan Foss is back out there. We can't count the Cobras out. Foss is battling it in there. Thompson. Passes it across. Turns over. Caught. Bents, the penalized player. Earlier. Loses it. Thompson. Rogoshinsky with the shot off the mask. I thought they were supposed to pull that dead. I guess. Well, checked in. Foster, Logan Foster, the dangerous player with the shot. Big rebound. Player a hug and says 46 left in the opening. On Good On Industries Game Time on video. Takes a shot, stop, and we're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching Good On Industries Game Time on PL Media. And I'm going to refresh the browser. I've been told that the video looks a little rough. Please continue to be patient. The blast. Canora takes a shot. Big re. That's still loose. And offside, we're going to take a quick timeout.
Good on Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy. Good on Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy capable. Zaley's Furniture. Celebration Ford. Rolna Pranky. Blue Chip Realty. Four Town Journal. Source Embroidery. Tom's Electric. Carrie's Pharmacy.
It is the Langenburg Remax Arena, and we're back. Hopefully our video is a little better. Passes it over. McDonald bumped off a good hit. Foster. Passes it across. Whirl. Sent down ice. Zimmer keeps it in. Good play there. Canora still trying to get the legs under them in the early going. Penalty halts of momentum for the shooting game. 12:38 remains in period. I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. It's great to have you aboard for another season of Good on Industries Game Time on PL Media. Passes it up. Canora breaking out with speed. Up ahead. Brandon. And that goes out of play. Coming up during the first intermission, I believe this has an episode of the Rod Peterson Show cut up. We want to thank Rod Peterson for allowing us to use the content during our broadcast. Rod Peterson's a friend of ours. We appreciate our friend. Carson Shaft breaks out, sent down the ice. A low one. Cody Ross is on the ice. 24. Down the ice with 11:47 left here in Langenburg at the Langenburg Remax Arena. $11:47 left. In the first period. Brandon went over the blue line, passes it over, and got the boards and down the ice for in and back together. Off board. with 11:14 remaining. Langenburg Warriors take the face off against Wallen. Across ice. Pass it in his own end. Pass across ice. Thompson. Thompson comes around. Thompson. Thompson the blue line takes the risk. And I go high over the play. Here it's 2-0. Zimmer's out there to take the draw. One of the late two draws. Puts it on that high, left goes on. Decides to. Takes a shot, and Bert Hayden has to make the save. Now we have a delay penalty on the play. We'll take a break. You're watching Good On Industry Game Time on TL Media.
Good On Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Capable. Zaylee's Furniture.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We were experiencing a few technical difficulties. Langenburg now has a 2-man advantage for the next minute and 3 seconds. Worrell has it at the blue line. That's a pass go. Narrowly missing the top corner. Zimmer has it. Zimmer cross ice pass. Drop. Thompson. Cross ice. Zimmer. Another cross ice. Tried to go roof, but he couldn't find anything. Zimmer keeps it in. Zimmer and Worrell on the blue line. Zimmer tries sending it down low. Not much heat on that honk there. 28 seconds left in the first power play for Langenburg. Penalties have gotten the Cobras into trouble here as they come in short-handed with the shot. They already scores! A short-handed goal for the Canora Cobras And they're right back in it. I'd expect this kind of language out of Denny. They're not on SEHL either. Number 6. Thompson. Thompson looking to get the goal right back. Thompson. 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 Trying to set something up. Thompson sends it down low. Thompson. Back. That goes wide. Brennan. 8:07 remains in the first period. Wallen still in the penalty box for 24 seconds. Brennan sent down. And Thompson has it. Goes into the boards hard. Tucker over in the corner. And Canora is back to full strength, and we'll take a break. Watching Good On Industries Game Time on SEHL Media.
Tom's Electric, Carrie's Pharmacy, Duck Mountain Lodge, Wanda Heron Photography.
Canora has chipped into the lead. It's 2-1. And the parade to the penalty box is picking up here in Langenburg. Shaking his head is Brook as he heads to the sin bin for 2 minutes or less with 7:28 remaining in the first period. Zimmer's out there to take the draw against number 20, Cody Dubas. And coming away with it are the Cobras. Takes a shot, redirected, and out of play. Brooks in the box for 2 minutes for holding. Skylar Wallen's out to take the draw. He won it against Zimmer. And off the boards, kept in by number 65, Carter Whiskey. Back, Sass over. Takes a shot, that goes wide. Falling down. Cody Rock. Rock spinning around. Up ahead. Trying to spring his teammate, but out to play it with Howard. World. Howard's out to play it. Then Canora has a record of 1-1-1 on this season. Well, Langenburg is unbeaten. Getting off the board. Minute left in the penalty to Brooks. 6:20 remaining in the first period. Then sent down the ice. Howard comes out to play it. Has the fans looking on top of him. They're right on top of you there, Langenburg. And it's definitely home ice advantage for the Warriors. Back to the point. Takes a shot. The players definitely feel the fans. I heard reports from visitors in the scene about just how much the fans can be on you here in Langenburg. And look at it. They're a passionate fan base. When we come back for provincials and playoffs, there's not a better arena in the league to be than Langenburg. 5:20 to go in the first period. Play's kind of slowed to a crawl in the last couple minutes. Cubas. Cubas with the shot off the blocker. Passes it up. Zimmer. Zimmer, it's a potential 3-on-1. Good hustle back. By number 17, Brielle Beblo, to break up that scoring opportunity. You're watching Good on Industries Game Time on TL Media.
Rolna Pranky, Blue Chip Realty, Four Town Journal, Source Embroidery, Tom's Electric, Carrie's Pharmacy.
Right. Zimmer spins around. Passes it. I love being right on top of the action as well. You hear up close and personal comments like that interaction between the referee and the players. Zimmer's out there along with number 11, Mason Drager. Drager has the second Langenburg goal. Cross ice pass. Whirl. Then whirl. He's going to give it a whirl himself, but he lost it. 44. Scott McCoskey. Rock. Cody Rock. 4:25 to go here in the first period. And the puck gets the stick. Sent down the ice. Horowitz out to play it. Thompson. Thompson sends it down. Back in front, takes a shot. Big save there by Howard. Shutting the door hard. On Canora, looking to regroup. Number 6, Parker Carlson. Correction. Carlson did a whiskey. But here's Schwartz in front. Takes a shot. Big rebound. And the blast from the point. Well wide. And it goes out of the zone. The Cobras will have to regroup. Number 16, Tyler Stevenson with a cross-ice pass. Sent down the ice. Number 15, Damian Bent. Bent sends it to Foster. Foster back to number 16, Stevenson. Stevenson has it bounced over his stick, and he actually over his own end. Stevenson up ahead, and that was a questionable icing call because I thought that it hit 2 sticks, but the linesman ruled it did not, and that's why they're paid the big bucks, and I am just a broadcaster. Foster loses the draw, takes a shot. Kicked aside by Howard. Back Raymond. Foster pins his man against the board. That's Brooke, but he is still able to get it in front. Brooke. And number 2 has to go get it Carter Lake. No correction. That is Hildebrand. Hildebrand's going pressure. And here comes Canora. Wentz takes a bump into the corner. Schwartz. Rolling in front. Schwartz on the doorstep. Puts it in. Takes a shot. Hit the leg. And the puck goes down the other way. Schwartz had a golden opportunity to equal this one up. 2:18 left in the first period. It remains 2-1 in favor of the Langenburg Warriors. And we will fix the scoreboard right now. Mack takes a bump into the board. Mack, the return of the Mack. He loses it. Zimmer also gets bumped off the puck. Would you expect anything different between these two teams? Mack back. Zimmer knocks it off the stick, but he still gets it. Goes 5-hole, but closing it with Birch. Down the ice. And that one is icing with a minute 33 left here in the opening period. You're watching Good on Industry Game Time on CL Media. Cross ice pass. Canora with a chance, but it's good defensive play. Takes a shot. Sass. Zimmer looking for another Warrior to come help him. Drager's back to get it. Drager taken into the boards, but he's able to get it to Zimmer. Zimmer has it along the end boards in the far shot. Carlson cross. Takes a shot. Big rebound by Howlerlich. Passes it over. 45 seconds remaining in the opening period. Down the ice it goes. Birch plays it. 37 seconds. Spinning around. 28. Passes it up. Shift up ahead. Time for one last rush for the Warriors. Wrist shot. Stopped by Howlerlich, who holds on for a whistle. 21.6 seconds remaining in the opening period. Score remains 2-1 in favor of the home side. Johnson loses the draw. But the team comes away with it. Level 50. In front. Still loose. Backhanded into the corner. 12 seconds. Puts it off the ref's backside. And the ref playing some defense with Canora. Looks like Thompson back. Zimmer. And the puck goes out of the zone. And that is offside. Producer Mitch, do you have an episode of Broad Peterson teed up?
Yeah, buddy.
And that's the end of the first period. And score after 20 minutes of play here at the Langenburg Arena, Remax Arena here in Langenburg is the Langenburg Warriors 2, the Canora Cobras 1. You're watching Good on Industry Game Time on TL Media.
Good
Sorry, Mitch.
Good on Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Capable. Zaylee's Furniture. Celebration Ford. Rolna Pranky. Blue Chip Realty. Four Town Journal. Source Embroidery. Tom's Electric. Carrie's Pharmacy.
All right, let's come back to the 10-game television. Producer Corey, just tell me, have you had any contact? Can you see Scott Laughlin? Oh, we got him. Okay, there he is. We got you, Scott. We're live on the air, my brother, from Sirius XM NHL Radio. There you go. We'll there we go. We're live, Scott. How you doing, my guy? Hey, Scott, can you? Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Hi, Scott. Do you hear us? You can put up the screen if you want, Corey. And I will dip into a sports update, and please give him a call, and you guys can sort that out. New York Giants rookie Abdul Carter is eager to move past his public punishment for missing a walkthrough last week. Carter was benched for the first defensive series against Green Bay by interim coach Mike Kafka. Carter disputed a report that he was sleeping in the team facility and argued he was doing recovery instead. the number 3 pick in the draft, is expected to be back in the starting lineup Sunday at Detroit. Carter is still looking for his first full sack in the NFL. Kafka said he's proud of how the Penn State product has handled the situation. What an odd and bizarre time in sports right now. And I was just thinking the other day, with all the talk of the quarterbacks at the top of the drafts, or the ones that are supposed to be going at the top. Travis Hunter, a non-quarterback, but went high at last year's draft. Cam Ward going number 1 overall from the Miami Hurricanes to Tennessee. I was like, how come we haven't heard much about Abdul Carter, who went number 3? And now we're hearing he still doesn't have a sack yet. And you wonder why New York football fans are so aggrieved. It's one thing for the Jets to trade off Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, and get picks back. But if you're going to blow the picks, I understand that's the Giants, but the Jets are no better. Ooh, you can see why they're as upset as they are. Was talking to a guy in Vegas the other day about Vegas sports and what's going down there in the town. Obviously, the Golden Knights are hot. The Raiders, while not winning, still sell out every game. And he said, hey, the Grand Prix is coming. And I'm like, already? Again? Lando Norris is set to tie David Coulthard as the most tenured driver in McLaren history during the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The 26-year-old British driver will make his 150th career start, a milestone he's proud to reach.
He'll got you. Check 1 2 1 2. You got me. Check 1 2.
Grand Prix. We got you, Scott. We got you, man. We got you. You got me? Okay, let's go. We got him. We did it. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. You got that Columbus jacket on. You wear that every time. Do you wear that every day, or is it just every time you're on with me?
No, you know what, Rod? I'm wearing it for Bill Simmons. I mean, Bill Simmons going on record as saying he believes the Columbus Blue Jackets are the most irrelevant sports franchise going. I would just invite Bill Simmons out to an NHL game. I think he needs to follow the league a little bit more. I think people in the Buckeye State are probably just a little bit upset at Bill Simmons today. But again, this is maybe a marketing opportunity for that franchise to reach out to Bill Simmons, get him into a building to let him know what we all know, that hockey's the greatest game going.
And we also, we air all across the Buckeye State. We're big in the 3 Cs, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus. They're all watches. They'll be very happy with your jacket today. And I'm also wondering, are you trying to trigger Leaf fans? Is that what you're trying to do with the jackets at the Leafs tonight?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, this will be an interesting game. I think both teams in desperate need of a victory. Toronto, obviously, at this point, just trying to build some momentum. And they've got some key injuries, as we know. And it sounds like Stolarz is going to be a little while longer than they expected on the sidelines. And certainly Matthews is not good to go anytime soon, including tonight. So they've got some adversity right now. They were dressing a makeshift lineup in what they got done the other night, courtesy of Tavares and Nylander working their magic. So, yeah, a big 2 points on the line tonight for each club at Scotiabank Arena.
Scott Laughlin with us from SiriusXM NHL Radio. One thing that's new, you know that we air across Canada on Game Plus TV in 32 U.S. states, but we're also now across Nevada on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. So I'm going to have to ask you in a second about your take on the Golden Knights. Injuries are a big reason why they're not having the season that they planned yet. But this morning, you brought it up again, the topic of white jerseys at home in the National Hockey League. In a lot of ways, I feel like you and I are kindred spirits. We see things the same way. Home team should wear white. Did you ever get a reason why they don't anymore? Like a good reason from the NHL?
I really didn't, Rod. You know, I mean, for you and I think we grew up, and that's what we had grown with, and the fact that you just expected the home team to be wearing white. The road darks would come into your building. Everybody would reap the benefits of seeing the great Montreal sweaters, the Red Wing sweaters, et cetera, et cetera. At some point, they decided to change it. I'm guessing maybe to sell more quote-unquote home jerseys. But even if you're a season ticket holder, let's say in a place like Toronto, and you see the Leafs wearing the dark blues each and every home game, you see the roadside coming in wearing white, 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 white. Anybody I've talked to, they get bored of seeing the home team wearing the same sweater. And if you're going to wear the same sweater as a home team, make it that uniform white and just reap the benefits of all the visiting teams coming through your barn and seeing all the beautiful sweaters and colors that the NHL can bring. So we grew up in a certain era where the home teams wore white. I know somebody maybe a little bit older would say, yeah, but wait a second. Bobby Orr scored that famous goal flying through the air against the Blues back in 1970, and the Bruins were wearing their dark sweaters on home ice. Things switched in the 70s, and when we grew up, obviously that became vintage. This time around, though, it appears that you and I are really not making any sort of an impact with regards to all this, Rod, because nobody seems to be listening, much to our chagrin, right?
As your boy Gordy said, that ship has sailed. But have you ever got a reason? I need a reason.
I didn't. I mean, I was always taught by my dad, Rod. I mean, if you're wondering about anything, you can trace everything back to money, right? Everything is eventually going to get back to the bottom dollar and making money. And I got to think that that's the reason as to why they made the switch. I'm here to say, you're here to say, if they switch it back, you could probably make even more in the way of the dollars as far as the NHL teams are concerned.
I've had money people tell me the exact same. Follow the money is the term that I was told. Okay.
Absolutely.
That makes a heck of a lot of sense. Okay, well, here's another one. Everybody in the NHL listens to you guys, so I'm interested. Certainly all my friends are down here in South Florida do, and in Nevada as well. I'm wondering if you had any feedback on your chat about Macklin Celebrini of the Sharks and Connor Bedard of the Blackhawks being a slam dunk to be on Team Canada for the Olympics, because I was listening going, Scotty, I don't think anything's a slam dunk until they load the plane to go to Italy.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, look, injuries are going to happen. Players will fall back. Other players will move forward. And, a couple of weeks ago, we got together and we selected our first editions of Team USA and Team Canada. And for me, for Team Canada, I had Celebrini on the wing with McKinnon at center and Crosby on the right side. Obviously, Crosby and McKinnon are attached at the hip. We know that Macklin Celebrini had some experience playing with Sidney Crosby at the World Championship just a few short months ago. So for me, Celebrini, you can't keep him off. He's got to be on your second line. I would be okay with Connor Bedard on the third line. Now, I've got him play with Braden Point, who's really got to pick it up, and maybe that starts tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Brad Marchand as well on that third line. So you've got some experienced guys with a guy like Bedard. You can say, well, he's not ready for this sort of thing. He played at the World Juniors, of course, for what? About a tournament and a half, because that first time round, of course, it got blown away after 2 games due to the pandemic. But I think these kids have played on big stages before. And I think that, Rod, at the end of the day, you're going to have enough guys on this team for Team Canada, whether it be the Four Nations or whether it be World Championships or previous instances playing for Canada on this global stage. You're going to have enough guys on this team with enough experience that they've been there and done that. And I don't necessarily think that Celebrini and Bedard, who, let's face it, have been under the spotlight in the microscope basically for the past 7 years or so of their respective lives, I don't think that they're going to be awestruck by playing at the Olympics in February. And I think we would look foolish, Rod. We'd all look foolish, right, as Canadians, if Celebrini and Bedard were not on the team at this point. They're not going to go anywhere. If they remain healthy, they'll be in the top 10 in scoring. And if we omit those players, I think we might be asking for some bad things, some negativity coming our way. And if it doesn't work out, certainly you look back and say, how could you have a couple of high scores like that when you're in need of offense, not on your team? I would say to Doug Armstrong and company, don't make that mistake.
I was ready to move on to non-Olympic talk, but Colin in the nation's capital writes in, he says, are we even sure the arena is finished for the Olympic hockey in Milan? And Brian in Edmonton asks the exact same question. Is the ice rink in Italy finished yet? I saw that Gary Bettman's concerned about this. What do you know about it?
Well, look, all we know is that the NHL, when they sent their contingent over to Sweden for the Global Series with the Predators and Penguins going at it last weekend, they also made a little bit of a stop at Milan, at Italy, because there are concerns right now that the arena is going to be completed on time. And look, you follow all the insiders like I do as well, those that make the calls, those that are in touch with the league personnel, Rod. And from all that we hear right now, there is no plan B, right? So there's no plan B. It is Milan Cortina or it's bust. They're hoping they don't have to deal with bust. My guess would be that they're probably working 23 and a half hours in it every day, trying to get those nuts and bolts in the facility to make sure it's completed, because they don't have a backup plan right now. So all eyes are on Italy in more ways than one coming up for February.
Okay. Well, if it has to happen, then it will happen. I'm not spending too much time on that. But about the Golden Knights, as I mentioned, talk about an up and down season, worse probably than they thought. But the injuries are the reason I'm hearing. What are you seeing out of the Golden Knights?
Well, if they're still in the mix in the Pacific Division, I think I had Anaheim making the playoffs this time around. I didn't expect them to be leading the division at this point. And Los Angeles, let's face it, after they get through the Sharks tonight, the Los Angeles Kings will have played 14 of their first 21 games on the road, where, of course, they've been more or less road warriors. So you've got those two teams in front of Vegas, but the Golden Knights are still in the mix. And it gets back to what you said, Rod, and you don't want to use it as an excuse. I'm sure that they're not going to use it as an excuse. But when you're missing Aiden Hill for as long as they've been missing their number one goaltender, and you're missing arguably still your best all-around player in a guy like Mark Stone, I think that you can understand that, look, this team is going to be fighting the battle right now with maybe just one hand tied behind its back. So I think until they get all hands on deck, it'll still be a bit of a slog, a bit of a grind for this team. We know that they've got more than enough firepower when they're healthy to compete with the best teams in the league. Right now, given the circumstances, when you look at a team like Edmonton struggling like they've been struggling, trying to figure things out on the fly, maybe Vegas isn't in that bad a position. I really do think that it really boils down to Hill and Stone. And when you're talking about two integral figures like that, two guys who might be back on Team Canada at the Olympics, maybe some proving to do once again, given the number situation for Hockey Canada, Doug Armstrong, to put together this roster. I think when you get all hands back on deck, if and when that happens, Vegas is going to become Vegas once again.
A curveball for you here, but I know you can handle it. Who should be more upset right now, Flames fans or Oilers fans?
I would probably say the Oilers fans should be more upset, because the problems in Edmonton are problems that we have seen most recently created by the fact that they lost a couple of key players in the offseason, right? Say what you will about Corey Perry, public enemy number one in every building that he doesn't call home. But he's had a great start and a late start to the season, as we know, with the Los Angeles Kings. But as a 40-year-old, has really not looked out of place at all. In fact, he has thrived at times with Los Angeles. You look at a good all-round forward in Connor Brown going off to New Jersey, and Evander Kane moving over to Vancouver. And when you backfill with a couple of young kids, Ike Howard hasn't proven he can play in the National Hockey League right now. Matthew Savoy is still a bit of a work in progress. And like every young player, Rod's still trying to find that consistency. When you lose those players and you backfill with youngsters who aren't ready for prime time, you're going to struggle. The same old defensive problems still, too, with this team, I think still exist when it comes to the deficiencies of Evan Bouchard. I mean, those that are thinking Evan Bouchard should be at the Olympics for Team Canada, I mean, what are we living in here? I mean, what time are we looking at as far as Bouchard's concerned? Defensively, you can't trust him. And he's a great offensive player, as we know, can quarterback a power play with the best of them, but he can't be on Team Canada. And there are nights that he struggles, there's no doubt, including last night against the Washington Capitals. And at the end of the day, Rod, I would say Oilers fans have a right to be upset, because the goaltending's still the goaltending. It's the same dynamic duo that they've been placing their lot in life with here the past season. Plus, when you talk about Pickard backing up a guy like Stuart Skinner, and Stuart Skinner certainly had a couple of kicks at it. We know the proof is in the pudding right now. Their goaltending is not up to snuff. If they go into the playoffs, should they make the playoffs with this dynamic duo in goal, they're going to come up short once again. So that's the job of Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson, is to go out there and shake a tree and find somehow, some way to get somebody in that's going to improve your goaltending to the extent that you've got a number one goaltender that you can trust come playoff time. Again, should they make it into the postseason once again.
Well said. Talk about a fun story, a positive story. The Detroit Red Wings. Have they arrived?
Yeah, I think they have. I think that we still haven't seen the best from the Tampa Bay Lightning. I still expect the Lightning. And look, it sounds like Victor Hedman's out for a further couple of weeks, too. So some more concern there with regards to Hedman. McDonough certainly has missed some time as well. They've had all kinds of different injuries up and down that lineup. And Vasilevsky has been not as good as he was last season. So I think you add it all up, Tampa Bay is going to be better. Still in a wait-and-see mode when it comes to the Boston Bruins, especially knowing that the surgery's taken place for Charlie McAvoy, which perhaps even leaves him in doubt for Team USA for the Olympics. We'll have to wait and see. And Montreal, obviously, still a young team, off to a great start, have fallen back now, and now they've got to encounter that adversity and come through that challenge as well. So to answer your question, has Detroit arrived? I think they've arrived to a point where they should be in the playoffs, right?
Good on Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Capable. Zaley's Furniture. Celebration 4.
Welcome back to period number 2.
Rona Pranky. Blue Chip Realty. Four Town Journal. Source Embroidery. Tom's Electric. Carrie's Pharmacy.
Okay. It is 2-1 for the Canora Cobra, for the Langenburg Warriors rather. Producer Nick will get the scoreboards up momentarily. And we're underway in period number 2. Bert holds on for a whistle. My apologies about portrait mode. I will get the proper adapter to put it in landscape. Two-one is the score in favor of the Langenburg Warriors. Mead backhands it down the ice. Backhand in front. Shot goes wide. Down the ice it goes. Passes it over. McDonald sounds on the clearing attempt. Are they able to get it to Thompson? Thompson cross ice. A blast by Whirl. For the second period, we did switch our the camera that we're using, and I hope it's better. Backhand off the board. Yeah, behind the net. Getting around Thompson. Stevenson swung at it, missed, and Thompson back the other way. 2-1 is the score for the Langenburg Warriors. Producer Nick, can you come back to the studio, please? Sorry, buddy, I'm really busy. Passes it up, takes a shot, that goes high and wide. Down the ice it goes. Hurt has no idea where it is. The shot kicked aside. Banked off the board, sent down the ice. 16:42 remaining in the second period. 2-1 for Langenburg. Canora wins it back, kicked aside there by Burt. Down the ice it goes. Wentz going after it. Wentz has it in his own end. Behind the net. Leaves it for Sass. Off the boards. Foster is pressing. Kepler. Off Kepler. Over. Cross ice pass. Kepler. Correction, that was Zimmer. Zimmer banked off the boards, kept in. Good play. Zimmer has it. Feeds it across. Dragger on there. He goes sick on it. Well, he goes into the corner behind the net. Sash has it. Moves it up. Wentz. Zimmer feeds it over. Brennan. Has it knocked off. Sent down the ice. Takes a shot that goes high and wide. Down the ice it goes. Brennan takes a bump and he falls down. The ice monster got him. Intercepted. Late. Behind the net. Up ahead, Gregor down the ice. 14:25 left in the second period. Still 2-1 for the Langenburg Warriors. Carlson with the shot. That goes wide. Back the other way. Poked off. Carlson. Down the ice. There, no call. Producer Mitch, can you roll a commercial break and I'll be right back. Thank you for letting me know that we're having audio issues. I hope they are resolved. It is 2-1 in favor of the Langenburg Warriors. Takes a shot that goes high and wide. Is the video working? It's not showing up on my end. We'll refresh again. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with us. And we're having a little bit of technical issues. Hopefully, they are being resolved. How are the audio and video now here? We switched cameras between periods. And Canora has it. Okay. We are good, I believe. 10:08 left in the second period. It's still 2-1 in favor of the Langenburg Warriors. Canora has a power play for 2 more seconds. Perfect. It's our first hockey game of the season. Thank you, everyone, for being patient and tuning in. 9:50 to go in the second period. Langenburg pressing. It's Pepler. Back the other way come the Cobras. Stevenson sends it cross ice off the foot, the backhand. Stopped by Birch, who holds on for a whistle. Our next broadcast is scheduled for next weekend in Rocanville. The Rocanville Tigers take on the Langenburg Warriors on Friday night, and they also take on the Cody Selects on Saturday night. Stay tuned to our social media pages for more details. 9:15 left in the second period. Takes a shot. Stopped by Howerlick. Howerlick getting the start from net for the Cobras. Went down the ice first, knocked it away. Stays in Thompson. Thompson going across the board. Stepped in. Carlson. Good defensive play there. By Hobber. Whirl over the blue line. Passes it up. The blast was stopped by Howerlick, who holds on for a whistle. And we'll take a quick timeout. You're watching Good On Industries Game Time on SEHL Media.
Good On Industries. Okay, time. Newsweek. Heavy Cable. Zaylee's Furniture.
Welcome back. Still 2-1 in favor of the Langenburg Warriors. Canora in front takes a shot. Good save there by Burton. Back the other way. Zimmer and Traeger. Zimmer puts it behind the net. 7:53 remaining in the second period. Thank you to everyone for tuning in and making a comment. Take me to your leader. Well, we have no leaders. We're tied at 2. I hope it doesn't still sound like an alien voice here. Hopefully it's better. Thanks all of our wonderful viewers for our technical difficulties. We're tied at 2 here. 6:34 remains in the second period. Do I sound normal right now? Oh, I never sound normal. Do I sound regular? Bumped into the boards. Falling down was Thompson. Well, cross ice takes a shot. That might get the guy in the gray hoodie. We'll take a break. You're watching Good on Industries Game Time on TL Media. I think we'll take a break anyway.
Good on Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Cable. Zaley's Furniture.
Backhand, that almost took out the zebra, took out the linesman. I'm going to do a little playing around with my phone to see if I can get this adapter to work. Thanks to the suggestions of our viewers, we want to give you the best broadcast possible. Wardle has it in the zone down the cross. McDonald bangs out off the boards. Canora has came all the way back to tie this game up at 2. It was 2-0 Langenburg early before Canora could get their road legs under him. Zimmer, who's rocking the Movember mustache there. Down the ice, 4:55 to go. Producer Mitch has a Rod Peterson ready to go during the second intermission. We are tied at 2. I will update that right now. Takes a shot off a leg. Hubbard puts it off a leg. Zimmer off a leg. Well, there's a lot of leg action here. Definitely, if you're in the 1970s, you would frown upon. Sent down the ice. No icing is the call. Banked off the boards, and here come the Cobras. Back to get it, Sass. Moves it up ahead. Cross ice. Zimmer. Passes it off the board. It's kept in. Dangerous. Zimmer. Out 2-on-2. Back the other way. Over the blue line and making a change. Draggers in, but he's corralled by 3 Cobras. Severson has his stick lifted and back. Kepler over Brook. Brook dumps it down. And it's in the Canora end, but it's sent down the ice. Both teams have remembered we need to play defense now. And it stays in. 3:20 left here in the second period. Still tied up at 2. You're watching Good on Industries Game Time on TL Media. Thompson. Sent down the ice. Out to play it. Off the stick. And here come the Cobras. Back into enemy territory. Not for long, though. That one was icing. We're going down, down, down the other way. And I picked the wrong arena to forget my seat cushion. That is okay, though. Thompson out there to take the draw. Thompson wins the draw. Gets it back. Well, puts it on net. Kick decide there by Howard. And back. Here come the no, it's staying in. It's still a live puck. It's still playing. 2:54 remaining. Behind the net. Langenburg trying to get the go-ahead goal before the end of 40 minutes. Turns over. Sent up off of an ankle. Plenty of time for ice off to the game for that. Ice, the kind you get from the fridge, not a certain person down southeast. Thompson across the red line. And not much further if he even got over. Might have been like Shea Patterson and lost it just before his intended destination. Minute 55 remaining in the second period. And my voice is starting to go. Thompson behind the net. Mr. Thompson. Decides to break out with speed. Moves it up across the blue line. Backhand by Zimmer. Kicked aside by Harlan. Backhanded over. Minute 15 to go in the second stanza. The physicality's picking up in the second frame. And the popcorn chicken's looking delicious. Heading to the boxes, number 14, James Mead. Minute 10 left. Canora with an opportunity to take the lead heading into the dressing room. Faceoff comes in the neutral zone. Warriors win the draw. Knee is in there, 2 minutes for slashing. Banked off the boards. This game is just an example of a couple of the elite teams that the SEHL has. Passes it over. The blast from the point, kicked aside. Sacrifice. That's definitely what they're taught. You wouldn't see that in ballet. Sass over, bench. Sass decides to hold it and gets a stick on it. Pepler tried to get it out. 12.3 seconds. The referee ruled it was moved ahead with his hand pass, and he blows it dead. You're watching Good on Industries Game Time on TL Media. 12.3 seconds left here in the second period. Zimmer's taking the draw. Number 65 for the Cobras. Dents. Zimmer then slided. Down low, short, just high and wide. Narrowly missed. Go ahead, goal. Missed it by that much. And the score after 40 minutes, it's the Canora Cobras 2 and the Langenburg Warriors 2. Go take your dog for the walk. Say hi to your wife if you want to. Maybe do something else, refill your beverage, whatever you choose to do. But make sure you have that period number 3. Do not promise watching guns. Do not want to.
Good on Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Capable. Zaylee's Furniture. Celebration 4. Rolna Prakey. Blue Chip Realty. Four Town Journal. Source Embroidery. Tom's Electric. Carrie's Pharmacy.
The Egglender program is an expedited process that gives you first-hand experience as well as theoretical learning to give you the tools needed to be a successful Egglender.
The Egglender program with Sunrise is a 2-year program that runs you through 4 stages: the MSR, the frontline, the loans clerking, consumer lending, and then finally it gets you to being an Egglender.
Okay, I appreciate it. Hey, before we get to anything else, the viewers were chastising me about my pick to have the Bills in the Super Bowl. Are you feeling confident on your Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl rematch pick? Do you want to stick with that right now?
No, I think the Chiefs this week are at a day of reckoning. I think the Chiefs are one of these teams. The Colts or the Chiefs are in for a rude awakening. And for the Colts, they not only have the Chiefs in Kansas City tomorrow, but then they have the Texans, which last night we saw just abuse the Bills. I mean, 8 sacks was pretty dominating performance by their defense with their backup quarterback, Davis Mills. So, and he's thrown 6 touchdowns, no interceptions as he stepped in, for EJ Stroud. So, I think the Colts, they have the Texans. They have the Jaguars twice. They have the Texans again at the end of the year, and they still have the 49ers in Seattle. So we're going to see if the Colts are for real or if they're a flash in the pan. As far as the Bills, I'm worried. I'm worried about both them and the Chiefs at this point. I think the Patriots, they get Drake May playing at an MOP level, And now Travion Henderson comes in and last 2 weeks has 6 touchdowns running the ball. That's an offense to be reckoned with. And the Patriot defense is what the Patriot defense has always been. I mean, they're good. And I think they're going to, that just throws another thing into the AFC mix, the Patriots. So, that game, I think the Chiefs and Colts, it's a day of reckoning for both teams. One of these teams, my prediction is team that loses going to be kind of a little bit on the downslide at the wrong time of the year.
If you don't mind answering some viewers' questions, they range all leagues. BW from Edmonton would like to know your thoughts on Shadur Sanders starting for the Browns. I laugh because it's a battle of 2-8 teams, Cleveland and Vegas, yet everybody's talking about it just because Shadur's starting.
But what a perfect situation. Shadur Sanders getting his first ever start in professional football in Las Vegas. It doesn't get better than that. I mean, who would have ever thought that would happen? So I think that's exciting, that he's getting the start against Las Vegas, a team not very good, bottom part of the league, and can come out and show what he can do. So, but I thought him playing in Las Vegas was just kind of an interesting twist.
Well, if you were a Browns fan or his coach or his dad, what would you like to see in that game from him?
To be efficient, not turn the ball over, act like he's been there before, play with poise, all those kinds of things. Dylan Gabriel is under concussion protocol. That's the only reason he's not starting. And he's shown, composure and those kinds of things. Shadur can't try to do too much and try to win the job back in one game. I think he's got to play with some composure and that type of thing.
College football. Oh, here we go. A lot of questions. Yeah. Okay. You want to talk about that? Go ahead.
It's the only game that really matters south of the border is SC and Oregon. One of those teams going to be in big trouble in terms of making the playoffs, whoever loses that game. But the bigger college game is in Regina at Mosaic Stadium when the University of Montreal comes in, and Montreal, Saskatchewan, just like the Grey Cup, and the province of Saskatchewan has a chance to be the first team ever to win the Canadian Bowl, which for people in the U.S., it's junior football, which the U.S. should think. Basically, that's kind of with the NIL and things. But junior football is for guys who don't go to college. And I can remember my first year in the CFL in Saskatchewan, we had 25-year-old rookies. They were farmers, and they played junior football, which kept their football dream alive, and then eventually would sign in the CFL. I just remember, I think it was a 26-year-old rookie who had just played for the Hilltops. So, but they have a chance. The Saskatoon Hilltops won. The Saskatchewan Roughriders won. Actually, the Saskatchewan Valkyries, who dominated the Canadian Western Women's Football League in the spring, they won. So they have a chance to have 4 football winners in one province. Never been done. So that's the exciting college game. The rest of the college games are not much. I mean, I like to talk a little about the Argo, what's going on with the hiring of the new coach. I think
let's do it.
Kind of fascinating.
Kirk in Toronto was written in on the Western Dots text line to ask who you believe will be the next head coach of the CFL's Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah, I think it's so difficult this year because the candidates, I think the top 2 candidates are Kent Austin and Orlando Steinauer. Now, again, Noel Thorpe is a candidate, but he can't even be talked to until Sunday because of CFL rules, which don't allow a team to talk. You can't talk to a candidate within 7 days of his final game. So his game was Sunday. The Argos could conceivably talk to Noel Thorpe on Sunday. The problem is Kent Austin, in that Kent is now the offensive coordinator at Auburn. Since the firing of Hugh Freeze, he's become the offensive coordinator. Well, for people that didn't pay attention, they played Vanderbilt, very, very good potential playoff team in Vanderbilt, and they lost in overtime. It was like 45-38. And his offense had 563 yards of offense. They really got it together. The quarterback threw for 300. They ran for 250. I mean, they play Mercer this week, and then next week Auburn plays Alabama. Well, that throws a little, I don't know Kent well, but I know him well enough to know that he will be totally engulfed in getting that game plan ready for that Alabama game that everybody in the country will be watching. And he is the offensive coordinator now. So it's a big game for he's not going to come up here and interview on a Tuesday. I can tell you that. That's not going to happen if that's what they choose to do. So they're going to have to wait until after that game. And then, what's going to happen? Is Auburn going to try to keep him, or is he going to have, if they do great, is he going to have a chance? Those coordinator jobs are going to pay $1 million a year. I know his wife is from up here. I think there's a lot of things that would pull him up to this job. I know Keith Pelly, he was the coordinator in 2006 with the Ricky Williams debacle. And he ends up getting fired. He goes to Saskatchewan, wins the Grey Cup the next year in 2007 with the Riders. And so, Kent Austin has a background that the people with the Argos higher up are very familiar with. Orlando Steinauer's in a job he loves. He's the president of football ops. Who knows whether he wants to come to a place where, who knows, the first 7 weeks, it's not just playing your games away, but where is the team going to practice? They lose their locker room. They lose their office space, I believe. But where are they going to be the first 7 weeks? If you're a first-time coach, I know they're also interviewing on staff Mike Miller, who is already interviewed. I believe they're interviewing Mickey Donovan, possibly Kevin Iben. So I think they're doing in-person staff interviews now. But that whole Kent Austin thing makes this thing interesting in terms of how long it'll go. But those are some of the names that I believe are going to be involved in it. In terms of which one, again, I have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Like last week, I had no idea about Mike O'Shea. After talking to him for 2 hours, I had no idea what he's going to do.
Yeah, I wonder if he did. But I'll tell you, here's the thing that I like/hate about the football world. I was talking to a football guy the other day, and he goes, "Why would they hire Kent? He flamed out in Hamilton." I'm like, I don't know, man. And they said maybe the Argos will go way off the board. They did with Dinwiddie. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming when they hired Ryan at 38. Like maybe there's somebody in the weeds that.
Well, Mark Mueller's a name that's been talked about, but the word is Mark wants to stay, and he's got Trevor there. They understand his thing, and he feels comfortable there. And like I say, the Argo job throws up a lot of question marks in terms of, right now the only personnel person they have is John Murphy. Pinball is the GM, but he doesn't really go out and watch film, and that guy, he does some contracts and those kinds of things. But and then the whole thing with the that game, the World Cup next year. So there's some questions with this job that make it difficult. I wanted to mention one more thing about that Saskatchewan game. So the young kid who started the season at quarterback, a youngster named Anton Ammonrud, and there's actually a GoFundMe page for him. He had thrown 14 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he's diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he's in the hospital. And his backup, Jake Farrell, steps in, does a fantastic job, gets him to this game. To me, it's an interesting side note and one I think fans should be aware of. And so I wanted to bring that up about the best college football game in all of North America. You can take all those college football games in the U.S. I'm going to watch the Montreal and Saskatchewan Vanier Cup game.
It'll be on the CBC, and Moose will be joining us next to preview that game. Guys, we're going to run out of time here. But James Warnicki writes in, he says, Coach Barker, do my Notre Dame Irish get into the playoffs provided they win the rest of their schedule?
No question. Not a question in my mind. They're in. If they win out, they're in. There's not a doubt in my mind about that. They lost games early. They lost to a Miami team early that has turned out to be not as good as people maybe would have thought. But I don't think there's any question that Notre Dame gets in if they don't have to play in one of those championship games, one of those conference championships, because those are guaranteed. And I think there's absolutely no question Notre Dame's in if they don't lose again.
Well, one thing I was going to ask you is last year, this is where Alabama took a nosedive. This is where Miami took a nosedive. Like these last few weeks are critical for the college football playoff.
Yep. Yeah, but there's just not a lot of big games where they're playing each other. There's a lot of teams that are ranked high playing, bad teams that are not that good. So there's not unranked teams, and the Oregon USC game is the one that's, and it's just hard for me to say because I remember when it was the Pac-8 and then it was the Pac-10 and now they're in the Big Ten. So it's a Big Ten matchup that's going to be very important for who goes to the, who's going to end up making the playoffs, because there's talk of 3 or 4 teams from the Big Ten, 4 or 5 teams from the SEC making it to the playoffs. So I think this Oregon USC game is huge. SC's finally playing well, but is their coach leaving? Lincoln Riley, is he getting ready to take off? And all these college football jobs open is throwing a lot of dim light on programs like Ole Miss that are 10-1 with Lane Kiffin. And is he going to Florida, or is he going to LSU, is he going to where's he going, or is he staying in Mississippi, which is a great spot. So it's
it's funny you say that. As you know, that's all football people do is sit around and talk about stuff like this. And I'll be right up to my eyes in it tonight at Bud Tite Field announcing the Chiefs-Cougars game, Florida 2A semifinal regional high school football.
Head coach Matt Dubuck.
That's right. That's right. Go Chiefs. But Coach, here's the thing. All these football people are watching you. You are the quintessential football guy. When we talk about all these guys jumping teams, whether it's Lane Kiffin or Ken Austin or whatever, is there something to be said or Mark Mueller? Is there something to be said for if you're happy where you are and it's a good situation to not be always trying to climb? How do you view that?
Now that I've gone through it all, I think if you're in a place you love and you've got good players and a good organization and things, sometimes it's not always greener. But the problem is that, the money, the prestige, the chance to win championships, and you look at the entire organization. When you're trying to get your first job, somebody like Mark Mueller, like Mike Miller, those things don't bother you. I mean, I had an owner whose kid was a quarterback on the team and I was going to deal with. And Wally Buono couldn't do it. One of the, I'm going to say the second best coach in the history of the CFL behind Don Matthews. That's just my personal opinion. Wally maybe, but that's just my personal opinion. But who was I to think I was going to go in there? It's our egos that get us there, and that's what happens with these coaches. They think they're going to take a job. Now, James Franklin has to leave Penn State, goes to Virginia Tech, and I believe he believes he can get Virginia Tech into the playoff thing. Does he think he can win a national championship? Maybe. But a guy like Lane Kiffin says, can I win a national championship here at Ole Miss? And, you get to that point where winning national championships is where you're evaluated and where, you want to be. And if he can do that at LSU a lot faster.
Good on Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Capable. Zaley's Furniture. Celebration Ford. Rolna Pranky. Blue Chip Real. Four Town Journal. Team 23 was pretty good there, bud. Can't really hear you.
Audio check. How's this?
Sounds better, buddy.
All right, thanks, producer Mitch. And thanks, Todd. Takes a shot. That goes high and wide. Hangs off the boards. And that one goes for icing. Two is the score. We're tied. 18-13 left here in the third period. Just getting underway. And Birch holds on for the whistle. Zimmer has it breaking out of his own end. Takes a shot, stopped by Howrlich, who holds on for a whistle. Nee is out there along with Zimmer and Meridian. Spinning around, circuit behind the net, going after it. Bump. Dents bumped off the puck. Sent down the ice. Dennis. Dents. Takes a shot off the knob of the stick and into the corner. Behind the net, Logan Foster tried to feed it in front. Gregor going after it. Fighting along the far board. Sent across. Dennis. Foster. Logan Foster sends it in front. Cross ice pass. Backhand feed up ahead. Sent down the ice. On net. Dennis bumped into the board by Brooke. Over the blue line. Up ahead. Kepler with the shot. That goes wide. Swinging at it. Covering it up for a whistle was Hallerlich. .16:41 to go here in the third period. Pass over. Mack tried to put it in front. Pepper with the shot. It hits the knee. Back. Carlson over with a shot. Back goes wide. And they're battling for it in the corner. As I'm still trying to figure out this new camera. Bear with me. Mac has it in his. Oscar up ahead with the shot. That one goes wide. Kaminsky sends it down into the end. Sent in. Thompson didn't know where it was, but he wisely did not play it as it was offside. 2-2 is the score. 15:27 left. Mikowski. Cross ice pass, it bounces over the blue line. Down the ice it goes, going hard after it. It was a warm day outside, so that might be impacting ice conditions here. A few
Rolna Pranky, Blue Chip Reel, Four Town Journal, Source Embroidery, Tom's Electric, Carrie's Pharmacy.
Welcome back. I hope the audio issues have been resolved temporarily. Well, permanently would be nice. We're still tied at 2. We couldn't do this broadcast without our fans and our advertisers and our viewers. Behind the net. Passes it over, out of reach of anyone. One out of the zone. Canora has it in the neutral zone. Mikowski fires it on net. That goes wide. Not by much. He had a lot of heat on that slapper. Back the other way. Pepper gets by, pinch it in. Kathy, don't be sorry. I appreciate the comments. Letting you know that, hey, Things aren't up to as I want it. I strive to be professional, and I want it to be the best for you guys watching at home. So I appreciate all the messages. How is the video quality in the third period? TL Media is the most fan-friendly, interactive broadcast you could find. You won't get this on Live Barn. You won't get a sense of humor. You, you won't get interactiveness. Well, I don't think they even do play-by-play. Carlson sends it down low. Two is the score. 12:26 left in the third period. It's still anyone's game. I mean, you'd expect nothing less between two of the top teams in the SAS East Hockey League, the Canora Cobras, who won it all last year, and the Langenburg Warriors, who want to win it all this year. Carlson has it at the point. He loses it, and back the other way. It's a 2-on-1. Vince passes it over the backhand. That's wide. Schwartz passes it over. Sends it in front. Dennis has it. Puts it on. Well, that didn't go to where he wanted. But Langenburg sends it down the ice. I believe that was Zimmer. Dennis down the ice. Trying to regroup, trying to change. And the Warriors have it. Hits the body. And Zimmer across through the neutral zone into enemy territory. Knee takes a spin and gets it down to keeper. Drager bumps, but he keeps on keeping on. And the play is whistled dead with 11:31 left here in the third period. Sends it down low behind the net. Going after it. Langenburg. Hepler sends cross ice. Backhanded over. Brock. 11 minutes left as the bleachers continue to be uncomfortable to sit on, and I forgot my cushion. But I digress. So you're not here to hear me complain. You're here to hear about hockey. Whirl over Rogaszewski through the Rogaszewski cross ice. Absolutely no one. Thompson goes behind the net. Takes a shot. That goes wide. Whirl. Down the ice it goes, and that one will go for icing with 10:22 remaining in the third period. And maybe I want to go back to the second period. It was the same score. 2 all around. I got a little too confused there. Zimmer out there with Thompson. Drennan is on the blue line. Waiting to rip it. Canora has other ideas. Waved out of the face-off circle. They'll have to get someone else to come in, and they will. Number 44, Zlatnikowski. He wins the draw up ahead. Passes it over Thompson. Thompson over. And back Larkowski. Into Langenburg territory. 10:04 left. Just at the midway point of the third period. Knee breaking in. Knee does it in front. Enormous save by Powerluck to keep the game tied. You know it's a big save when I throw out the $1 million words. We gotta make a commercial break so we can pay off using those words. Watching Good on Industries Game Time on TL Media.
Good On Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Capable. Zaley's Furniture.
$9:40 remains in the third period. Canora and Langenburg. Gavrok here at 2. Passes it up to no one. Canora gets it over. Batting on it was Foster. And I could think he was thinking of another F word after he did that, but we can't say that on TL media. Takes a shot. That goes wide. And Drager breaks out. Intercepted. Looking like a Winnipeg Blue Bombers quarterback this year. $9:04 remaining in the third period. 2-2. Hockey is back on TL Media, baby. Up ahead to no one. That one is not icing. Not icing. Interception. Brooke. Another interception. Good neutral zone play by the Cobras as they look like the 1990s New Jersey Devils. And they play like the 1990s New Jersey Devils.
Hey, Travis, your audio is really rough again.
Thank you for that note, producer Mitch. I hope this is better.
Sounds good, bud.
Zimmer's in. Behind the net. Whoa, down low. Tried to go 5-0, but making the save was Howerluck. Falling down. Bumped into the board. He's not slowing it up, but there is a penalty. A dangerous hit sending to the box and bench. And Langenburg goes to the power play with 7:19 remaining. Thompson out there along with Zimmer. And number 14, Worrell Thompson on the blue line. Vince is in the penalty box again. He was in the sin bin early in the first period, and he does not want me to remind you what happened. Zimmer. Zimmer has it. Whirl. Whirl. Over Zimmer. Zimmer. Back to Whirl. Whirl back down to Zimmer. Zimmer. Trying to set something up here. Zimmer over Whirl. Whirl sends it down low. A little too crisp. Whirl with the blast from the point. That goes wide. Thompson. Whirl. Takes a shot. Kicks the side. Big rebound. Thompson. Thompson looking for the go-ahead goal. Thompson. Thompson shoots it down low behind the goal line. Zimmer. Zimmer. Moves it over and back. Whirl with the shot that hits the body. Canora is just doing a good job of killing this penalty. 35 seconds left. Back the other way. Canora has scored a short-handed goal earlier. Thompson with the shot. Back. Kick the side there. The goal is not going to count. The ref blew the whistle prior to no goal. Instead, Hepler is going to the correction. Canora's number 20. Unfortunately, in this arena, they do not keep practice shots on goal, or at least they're not doing for this game. If you want to go back and watch the replay and count up all the shots, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what we're at. I could just pull a stat out of it, where, but I'd be lying to you, and that's not my style. Skylar Wallens in the penalty box for 2 minutes. We're going to take a quick timeout.
Good on Industries. Okay Tire. Mooseman. Handy Cable. Zaylee's Furniture. Celebration 4. Rolna Pranky. Blue Chip Realty. Four Town Journal. Source Embroidery. Tom's Electric. Carrie's Pharmacy.
Welcome back to Langenburg. Score is still 2-2. If I have to estimate shots on goal, it would be about even. Both goalies have been busy. Both offenses have even game. 5-2. Thompson. Thompson.
Your audio's off again there, Travis.
I know I got enough.
Thompson with the shot that hits the leg, and he's feeling that one. Thompson down low, tic-tac, goal! Tic-tac, goal! Revelation in Langenburg. You cannot draw that up any prettier. Rembrandt with the beauty. It's a 3-2 game for the Langenburg Warriors with 4:50 left. Penalties are hurting the Cobras this evening. 3-2 for the Langenburg Warriors. No, not 1-0. Thank you, producer Mitch. Producer Mitch. He's like the inanimate carbon rock, the unsung hero of SEHL Media. Thompson with the shot, a big save there by Howrlock. Time's ticking down. Now the Cobras are trailing 3-2, and Langenburg's looking dangerous. Penalties, special teams is hurting the Cobras here this evening. Although they do have a short-handed rule. Knee from Zimmer and Thompson, and we have a melee. Okay, no, we don't. They're just exchanging what they want for Christmas. Well, I would expect that kind of language from Denny's, but not here in Langenburg. Not here on SEHL Media. Rogoshuski's heading to the box. Benz is getting reacquainted with the penalty box keeper. They're going to be old friends by the time this game's over. Much to the chagrin of Mr. Benz. McDonald and Rogoshuski are in the box for Langenburg. Bentz is in the box for the Cobras. And it will be a power play for the visitors. Rogoshuski for high sticking and roughing. Backhand feed. Fast. Rock. Send it down. Rock. Rock in front. Oh, just missed it, but it went out of play. He wanted to put it in, but he just didn't do it. He wanted to. But the puck was too good for his home. Foster. Schwartz going after it. A backhand feed. Zimmer. Zimmer takes a bump from Foster. And they move it down the ice. Minute 14 left in Bentz's penalty. And he's looking forward to getting back on the ice. Knocked off. Behind the net. Sass has it. Moves it up over the red line, over the blue line. Back to the point. Looking for the blast. Tried to get one too many passes and sit down the ice. And a good penalty kill for the Warriors with 2:45 left in the third period. Moved ahead. Across, down the ice, and the Cobras get it. Foster behind the net. Foster in front. And it is kept in. A great defensive play there by Dubas. Benz is up in the penalty box. He's ready and waiting to get up in 8 seconds. Down the ice it goes. One last dump. Down. And Benz remains in the box for coincidental minors. Zimmer feeds it up. We're back to 5-on-5. We're back to full strength. Back to
Hey, check your audio again there, Travis.
minute 24 left in the third period. Canora. Langenburg, 3. Canora, 2. Producer Mitch, is the audio better?
Yep, sounds good, buddy.
All right. I don't want to sound like the Al Gore doll. You are very neat. Foster out there to take a crucial face-off for the Cobras. Coming away with it. Well, no one does really. But it's Langenburg that's able to get it out. Empty net. The net is empty. Harlock is on the bench. He scores! And just like you can head on down the wall and midway through, get some icing. That's the icing on the cake. The Canora Cobras trail by 2. The Langenburg Warriors. The assistant captain. Who else? Riley Zimmer. There's so much firepower on this Langenburg Warriors team. They've got Zimmer, Nee, Thompson. They're going to be a force in the Saskies Hockey League. And you can see them next weekend once again in Rocanville, live right here on TL Media. Canora, they're going to be dangerous as well. They're still going to be a powerhouse. I would expect them to be right near the top when the season ends. Both of these teams. Sass. "20 seconds. Down the ice. Again, the shot totals are not displayed on the scoreboard. 7 seconds. 5, 6. And that's the end of it. Meet the final. The Langenburg Warriors 4, the Canora Cobras 2. That was an exciting way to start our hockey broadcast this year. Between two powerful teams. We'll take a full commercial break. We'll take a timeout right now. And we'll be back with Trav's Titan. You're watching Good On
Industries. OK Tire. Mooseman. Handy Capable. Zaley's Furniture. Celebration Ford. Rolna Pranky. Blue Chip Realty. Four Town Journal. Source Embroidery. Tom's Electric. Carrie's Pharmacy.
Welcome back. Travis Longman with you from Langenburg. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in here on this Saturday night. I know you probably all have something a little better to do, but we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast nonetheless. Trav's Titan for this evening. Could go to a number of a few people. Zimmer, he had a good game, and he's always. But I'm going to go with the play of Langenburg's number 7, Mr. Thompson. He opened. He scored a goal. He made a few defensive plays, and he was just lights out when called upon. And you know who else are Trav's Titans for tonight? All of you guys. We had a few technical issues, but really, it's our first hockey game of the season. Producer Mitch, I want to thank you for taking time out of your Saturday night to produce this contest. And we'll see you on Friday night from Rocanville. Have a great week, everybody. Don't forget to be awesome. Good night, everybody.